Hello, Dragon Family. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday. I know we're doing lives on Tuesdays for the summer. Gosh, I'm liking this because it's right after my Dragonheart class and it's flowing well. So we might stick with this. We'll see. But hello. My name is Araya. I am also known as the Dragon Lady in this circle and many others. And I do dragon work. I work with the energies of dragons. I call them in. I help people meet theirs, connect to theirs, learn more about them, how to connect to them. And we have had a question recently this week. Joanne Dunn. I love this question because I know it's going to relate to a lot of people. So I wanted to answer it on a live. And the question was, are there times when the dragons get quiet or step away for a while after you've been doing some big work with them? Because I feel like they're here, but they're distant. What does that mean? I'm sort of on a low because Joanne actually helped do a big activation of a ley line between a stone circle in Scotland where she lives and the pyramids in Giza. And that we had a worldwide group participate on that on the solstice. And so afterwards, when you've been doing a lot of work prepping for that, the energies are high, there's a lot of integration happening, and a lot of work happening that sometimes we can blow our circuits or get too much too fast. And in order to prep for that, and you'll find this in your own if you're feeling called for different things or you've been doing a lot of work and a lot of openings, calling in the dragons a lot, that sometimes both you and they take breaks. And they're willing, they're always ready to step in, but they know your highest and best interest, just like any of your guides. And so when you feel that lull, just know that it's divinely timed and perfect for what you need at the moment. Just like any other energy work, you know, when I do energy sessions with people or you get body work done, what do they suggest? Drink a lot of water and be good to yourself. A lot of baths with Epsom salts, moving the energy through all the toxicities that have drained out. So when you start working with dragons and raising your vibration and releasing stuff that they're helping you move through and release, you need to go through the same thing. Just because you're not on someone's table necessarily, you might be, but when that happens and you're doing a lot of work with them, you need integration time. You need to, and I know there's a couple of people here, I'd love to know who you are. Feel free to pop a comment so I can say hi. But they don't need the time off, but they respect and know what your body is going through. They haven't been human necessarily, but they know as your guides and watching you energetically, they can see what's going on in your field, how it might be getting a little, not out of whack, but overstimulated. And after a whole bunch of high work, you need to drop down, allow integration time. So like even with my bigger programs, we're doing the Dragonheart program, we actually build integration weeks into, hi Christina, we build integration weeks into the program for a reason. It gives us all a break. It's hard to commit to 9 full months weekly without missing one or two, but if we build it in, not only does it give everyone a mental break or just a time break to be with family or whatever, we actually find each other missing each other quite a lot during those weeks off. But it's an integration week, because you go through phases of intense work and you just need to drop it down, let it all, meddle in, get it all to integrate. And so it's very natural and normal that you might feel them stepping away. You might feel them getting quiet. You might not be doing activations. You might not be doing big worldwide global things, but you're still doing your own openings. You're still having this human experience, moving into a space where you can actually access more and more of your light body. And in order to do that, densities move out, things get worked on, you get triggered. And as you take those higher frequencies in, your body has to adjust. So you might actually be very aware of and present with your dragon guides. You might know they're all around you. You might know maybe there's one working with you, maybe there's 10. But when you feel it get quiet for a while, hi Robin, it's very normal to have periods where you might not even feel, I'm talking to you, you might feel like, oh my God, my dragon connection's dead. What happened? Where'd they go? Why did they leave? Did I do something wrong? No, they're giving you a break. They're giving the integration time, and they're waiting for things to line up for you, both energetically and in your life and what's happening, to be ready for the next phase. And there might be some shifting of the guard happening. If you've gone through a whole bunch of growth and your guides are ready to shift, that's also a time when they might be calling in their replacements or the next level. Hi Delphinia, oh my gosh, big hugs to Wyoming, I love you. and calling in big transitions for the next level of guides that are going to take you to your next level. So perfectly normal, perfectly acceptable. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. Don't panic if all of a sudden you're like, wow, where'd they all go? It's getting so quiet. You can still call them in directly if you are feeling called. You'll usually have an intuitive hit of which ones that say you're just feeling like a meditation and you want to call in the Earth Dragon. Maybe you're needing to feel grounded. Maybe it's not one of your normal guides. It's not a bunch of big work, but they're always accessible. But they do and will encourage you, even if at that time you're needing softness. You might call in the Earth Dragon and it might be a very light connection, or you might have just very soft energy working with them in helping get some grounded stuff and opening some more things, because you don't want to overdo it. You can actually, what I would call, blow circuits or go too far too fast, and then it's just like spiritual burnout. People experience that where they spend so much time in ashrams or studying or with teachers, and they get to a place where all of a sudden they just want to go and be human for a while. They want to go play or they drink, and then they go overboard that way. And there's other patterns there that might need addressing, but to keep it in normal ways, to keep it in something that your whole energy field, your whole being can manage, so that you go through periods of growth and then periods of integrating, and to just allow that. So divinely perfect. Love that question, Joanne. I hope that I will tag you in this so that you know to watch the replay. And my other exciting stuff, talking about that, there are some global activations coming up. So you guys might not be called for doing global activations, but I am, because that's one of the things I'm here for. And here, this wing is my dragon. Hello. Big rainbow dragon reminds me of the Pleiadians with all the rainbow colors. And anyway, we have our first global activations coming up. I did not expect this to be this year. I planned my 9-month Dragonheart program. I've got it all lined out, all our schedule. And we have had a curveball come in where now Egypt, which I thought, I didn't know Egypt. I figured some of the work I'd done there already was what came up, even though it was on my list. I thought it would be much later. I was counting on South Africa, Uluru, and Kailash to be first. But lo and behold, the female black dragon under Africa is on the move. She is ready to be brought back up into her full glory. She's been repressed energetically for a long time. She, the black dragons work with shadow. They hold space for that. And with her as the feminine aspect, there's been a lot of shadow around the divine feminine from the patriarchal aspect of our world for thousands of years. I would say at least 7,000 to 8,000. And so she's ready to rise back up and bring that balance back into play. So there is a Egypt trip planned. I've got information and details for anybody that's feeling called to this. If you're one of there's only 11 spots. I'm doing it in conjunction. I'm a guest on the trip actually, so that I don't have to focus on the group energy of holding it all, and I can focus on the dragons and those Dragonheart or dragon keepers that come along that feel called. But if you're listening to the information and getting really triggered about activating the womb space of the female black dragon up and down the Nile River between the Isis temple in Philae and the Great Pyramid in the King's Chamber and the Great Pyramid and or the Sphinx, all of those are part of her root chakra to womb channels. Those are going to be activated on this trip, and at the end, in perfect synchronicity, one of my Dragonhearts, Loretta Brown, with Reiki Oasis, is actually heading the trip up because she does ley line work, divine feminine, sacred work, and she's stepping into her Dragonheart as well. So by the end of the trip, she will be ready to actually lead the dragon piece along with her other work in the King's Chamber, while I simultaneously am aligned in South Africa. Yes, the Isis Temple, Christina. It is wonderfully exciting. You're right, Robin. I am like on fire about it every time I talk about it. When it first came up, I wasn't expecting it. It came through in the session with dates and the need for me to be there, and all this stuff came out of left field, quite literally. But when that comes in, you got to pay attention and listen. And then it was a couple weeks later that it actually came to light that, whoa, this isn't just about the Egypt and her womb space. This is about activating her full spine. So I need to be in the crown chakra in South Africa at the same time that they are in the King's Pyramid, in the King's Chamber, in the Great Pyramid, early in the morning on November 7th, which is a new moon. Like the timing of this, it's just incredible to me how it's aligning. And yeah, it's blowing my mind right now too, Christina, because the way it unfolded. And what I love, I'm going to share a piece with you because I looked at Google Earth because I knew South Africa was calling. I had a dream a couple years back about it. I know nothing about it geographically. There are a few dragon hearts or dragon members of our family that are down there, so I've been in contact with them to help set up the first workshop in South Africa. We're going to do a dragon workshop down there as well while I'm there. But the activation and looking at the site, looking at where she lays in the tectonic plate under Africa and looking at South Africa's coastline, it's very clear where the crown chakra is, just behind her horn on her forehead. And what's interesting is the horn on her forehead is a very sacred place, apparently energetically. There's a lot of work there. It's called Table Mountain. And I'm looking at a space down the coastline further, which is where her crown chakra actually aligns. And looking at the crown chakra, okay, get this. I've never heard of a town called George. I've heard of St. George or different things. St. George is the one who slayed the dragon, right? And there's right in the middle of the crown chakra where I'm looking, I'm on Google Earth and I see there's a town called George. Like I'm supposed to be in that region in the town called George. That's very funny to me that George is marking the crown chakra of the black dragon for me because I've never heard of a town called George. I just love that. So there's George, and that was the starting point for looking at the maps, and then being in connection with these two gals in South Africa who are going to help me coordinate the workshop. I'm really excited about that. They brought my attention to a place called Knysna, spelled Knysna, and it's just down the coastline a bit further from George. And as I zoomed in on it on Google Earth, the waterway entrance into the river that comes into the point there, into the town, is a dragon. If you look at it, it's beautiful. Like it's very obvious the river is a water dragon there, just saying hello. Yep, we're here. This is where it's supposed to be. So Benny, seems like I can't watch the live. I'll watch the replay. Oh, too bad you're not going to be able to watch the live. We'd love to catch the replay. Have a good day, Benny. Thanks for popping on. We'll see you on the replay. Anyway, so that's happening. So I'm really excited that not only is the first global activation going to be a huge one, lining up the whole continent of Africa. We're going to have an opportunity for those that can't be there. If you can be there or you're interested or it's lighting you up like you, Christina, send me a text or an email or a private message so that I can get you information, because we need the list of 11 people in fairly short order. It came up really quickly, and because of the way things work in Egypt, we need to have names and passport numbers and all that of those that are going. So with the cost of the trip, a basic deposit of $500 gets your name on the list and commits your space by next Monday. So don't dawdle on that. If you're feeling called, get a hold of me so that I get the information to you. This is going to be a really amazing opportunity, not only for divine feminine awakening work with ley line activation work and pieces through the human body in that aspect through Loretta, but also with the dragons coming in. There's going to be dragons called in every temple ceremony that we do. We have private access to time at the Sphinx, the King's Chamber, in the Great Pyramid, the Isis Temple, and several other temples along the Nile. And the accommodations are going to be on a luxurious boat on the Nile, actually housing on the water and sailing between points, which is incredible. I was nothing like that for my first trip in Egypt 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago. So I find this timing interesting as well. When I said 11 people, it's 3:33. Thank you for noticing that, Christina. I can't catch that because I can't see my clock, but that is really cool to know. Thank you. Fancy, yeah. So not only is the activation happening, but the first workshop in South Africa. So if anyone, I know there's not a lot of you down in that region. I know Rajneesh is down in Mauritius. He was part of the book club last round. Would love for him to be able to pop over if he feels drawn for a workshop there on that Saturday. And it is aligning perfectly between a full moon on the 24th of October. The trip starts the 25th and ends the morning of the 7th with ceremony. And the new moon starts that night. So I know that when the dates were given in this session, when the information all came through, that there's a divine alignment, a perfect timing with this. It's the harvest full moon and the subsequent new moon, and there's something about that cycle, and it's kicking in and building on the solstice energy that Joanne, I mentioned her before, the ceremony she did, actually trying the energies up to Orion, and this is taking the energies from the point, the roots, so the top in Egypt and Giza, down to South Africa, training it down through the planet directly into, and I love how these line up too. I'm looking at the globe, that's how I align. I actually have a physical circular globe where I see trines. I measure my fingers there, and I look through on the point, and I make sure that it's in line, and I look at that space on the globe. It's Kiribati Island, which is Christmas Island in the Pacific, and it's the heart space of the white female dragon. So I found that so beautiful that these 2 points with the female black dragon are trining perfectly with the heart space of the female white dragon in the Pacific. And from there, they're actually triangulating up again to that center star in Orion and out to the Sirian energies. So taking it up from the 5th to the 6th, 7th, and 8th octaves dimensionally as far as energies becoming available. So wow, I never thought I'd be talking about that this year. Really excited. And Christina, where's the third location? Well, I just explained that, I think. I'm not sure if you're asking about a different third location, but Suzanne, great to see you, even though you're late. Wonderful. For everybody that catches the replay or the playback, if you missed the beginning there, Suzanne, let me know as far as your interest in Egypt. I will get you information immediately. I am going to be tied up for the next couple of hours, but I will get it out tonight. And for those of you that can't call, like you're interested in it, but you know it's not like your heart call, your palms aren't sweaty, and you're not like full body tingles going, oh my God, I'm tearing up. This is me. This is something I'm supposed to do. You might still be feeling really connected to it and might want to be connected while we are working. So there will be opportunities that present for that down the road. I'll talk more about those as we get closer, but there will be opportunities to receive transmissions, both from Loretta and myself. So direct dragon transmissions during these activations from those sacred sites and along the Nile on the way. So pay attention for those coming up as the trip aligns, getting closer. It's not till October 27th, as I said. Well, the trip starts the 25th of October, runs through November 8th. It's 2 weeks, incredible, luxurious accommodations, and it's going to be a treat. And you need to allow your abundance to flow. And if you're called to it, step up to the plate because it's going to be huge. So lovely to talk to you guys. I always love connecting with you. If you have questions, please post them into the group so that I can do lives on them just like this, because I love having things to talk about and connect with you guys about that are meaningful to you, that are affecting your journey right now, and that can answer questions and open your eyes to more pieces. So have a fabulous day. I will see you next week. We'll go again at 3:15 Pacific Standard on Tuesday for our live next week. And until then, I look forward to your posts. There's lots more just posted today. I just approved like 5 posts from some awesome photos and experiences people are having. So I love you guys. I love this dragon family, and I'm so excited to see you again next time. Have a great one. Bye.